Good morning, beloveds. Um, I've had kind of a lazy morning this morning. It's been raining since since my husband got up. He On Fridays he goes in at 7 o'clock in the morning, and well, some Fridays, it's not every Friday, but this morning he did, and it it was, he said, well, you get to sleep in, it's raining. And I went, and it's still and it's still raining. So it's like, well, I don't walk in the rain, I don't run in the rain, and I don't bike in the rain. I definitely don't bike in the rain. I can't imagine how wet I would get biking in the rain. So I took it. I didn't actually go back to sleep, but I let myself ease out of bed, and then I eased around the house, and have done, everything that I needed to do. And so now I'm here and doing this, and then I'll get ready for work, and then I have to figure out if I can get out of my house. I joke because the way my front walk is set, water tends to pool at this one point. It's kind of hard to get around. So it's like sometimes getting out and not getting my shoes wet is a challenge. So, but and it's been thundery too. I haven't seen any lightning, but I've definitely heard the thunder and the rain, and so we'll see. It's gonna, but it sounds like it's gonna clear up throughout the day. So it may be a quiet start to the morning, but hey, welcome to October. Which, by the way, welcome to October. Welcome to spooky season. I like Halloween. It's probably one of my favorite holidays. And it's not just about the candy. I love the costumes. I mean, why else would I work out at the Renaissance Festival? I love the costumes. Or garb, as we like to call it. I think it's a costume. The transition between garb and costume depends on how much money you spend. The more money you spend, the more you're going to call it garb. So, but it is October 1st. And our title is I Am Perfect. I am the perfect creation of a perfect God. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him. That is Genesis 1:27. We cannot conceive of the nature of God as other than a perfect being, whose intelligence is forever creating, recreating, and sustaining a perfect universe inhabited by a perfect man. All the arguments devised by those who are unable to perceive this truth become as nothing when we look at our world and see God in every flaming bush and every act of nature. Only a perfect mind could conceive of this could conceive this universe as it is. Therefore, we must look at our individual world and at ourselves as we believe God knows us to be. The garments of limitation are cast off when we begin to transform our individual minds with a belief that we are divinely created and divinely sustained. Our God is with us, and our God indwells us as a perfect potential awaiting our recognition and releasement. We know that we are born of the Spirit, that we live this day in a perfect presence, and that we are filled this day with an unlimited power for good. I have faith that I am a spiritual being, unlimited and free. I am not merely a material body with a human mind working in a material world. This is an untrue picture of what I really am. I now lift my thoughts to the mind of God and know with him that I am his beloved creation, in whom his pleasure abides. I am divinely quickened into a new creation. I am divinely quickened into new creative activities. All the ideas of his mind now awaken within me, and I walk in paths of righteousness and ways of peace. Today, I am the perfect creation of a perfect God, living in a perfect universe of order, love, and endless possibilities. All is good and all is well. All right, so the first thing, before I get to that line, because there's a line that I absolutely love, the first thing I want to remind you is when you hear the word perfect, think whole. Think whole, okay? All encompassing, everything's included. Think whole. Don't think flawless, okay? That is a different word. That is a different word. Perfect doesn't mean flawless. Perfect means whole. Perfect means that everything that is needed is included, which includes the juiciness and the messiness, all right? So you are a perfect child of God because you are whole. You are not a perfect child. You are not a perfect child of God because you are flawless. You do not have to be flawless. Because I'm not sure that it's possible. I'm not sure that it's possible. The material world is confusing, and we are going to make mistakes, and that is okay. Provided that we learn from our mistakes, we right our mistakes, and we make amends for our mistakes. All right? So don't think that because you have made a mistake that you are not beloved of spirit. But the line that I want is, okay, there it is. Therefore, we must look at our individual world and at ourselves as we believe God knows us to be. All right. We don't know how God knows us to be, but we have ideas. And when we look at our God as the God of love, as a loving God, then we know that God loves us, and God loves us no matter what. God does not judge us because we are within God. We are not outside of God. He says somewhere in here, God indwells us. So God created us and God indwells us. And with that, because God is within us, that's the perfect potential. That means that anything is possible. Anything is possible. Perfect potential. Anything is possible. If there is something that you truly desire to do and it is in alignment with the nature of God, then if you are willing and accepting, you can do that. You can do that. And the resources that you need will gather to you as your faith increases. So, and that faith is about imagination. It is imagination. Belief plus imagination. So, all right. I am the perfect creation of a perfect God. Remember, perfect is whole. So you are a whole creation of a whole God, which means it is all included. And then the Genesis. So God created people in God's own image. In the image of God, God created us. Yes, I know. I translated Genesis. Genesis 1:27. We cannot conceive of the nature of God as anything other than a perfect being. God is whole. Everything is included. Whose intelligence is forever creating, recreating, and sustaining a perfect universe inhabited by a perfect person. By perfect people, by whole people. So, forever creating, recreating, and sustaining. All right, which means God is still here. God did not create us and go away. God is still here. The power that sustains us is God power. And it is forever creating and recreating. Well, that means that if you are unhappy with the way things are going, you have the power to recreate them. You can recreate them or create something new. Or if things are going well, because God bless, things go well all the time. We just tend to focus on the stuff that isn't. You have the power to sustain that. You have the power to sustain that coming through you from that indwelling God that we were talking about. All right? All of the arguments devised by those who are unable to perceive this truth become as nothing when we look at our world and see God in every flaming bush and in every act of nature. If we truly look... Okay, I've seen this meme and I forget who it's attributed to, but either everything's a miracle or nothing is. So that's what that line means. When we look at our world and see God in every flaming bush and in every act of nature, everything is a miracle. Because everything is God. Everything is spirit. Everything is made by spirit, sustained by spirit. Everything is an idea that comes into form and goes back into spirit. There's your V in the circle V. And the circle is everything. Everything is included. So we are constantly being created and constantly going back into the realm of ideas and constantly being recreated. And so everything's a miracle. Everything's a miracle. And you just have to look at little things like, you may be able to hear her. All right, see this? All right. Okay. We still don't know how they do that. We have no idea how cats purr. Is that not a miracle? Is that not a miracle? And the fact that they domesticated themselves. They chose to enter into partnership with us. That is also a miracle. So everything's a miracle. Everything's a miracle. The latest medical technology is a miracle. There is apparently a new antiviral on them that they've got some good data on for helping to slow down COVID when people contract it. That is a miracle. And that does not discount all of the hard work of the people that created it. All right? Still a miracle. Still a miracle. Let's see. Okay. Only a perfect mind, only a whole mind could conceive of this universe as it is. Everything's included. Therefore, we must look at our individual world and at ourselves as we believe God knows us to be. And that's one of the things. I'm a big believer in going back to God's idea of us. Because God's idea of us is perfect. God's idea of us is whole. God's idea of us is healthy, creative, loving, happy. That's God's idea of us. Is it complete? No. Because I'm not God. I am a part of God. God flows through me. So, do I know the complete idea? No. But I know enough that when things aren't working right, that where I go is I go back to God's idea of me. I go into that spiritual practice, into that meditation, into that treatment to know who God knows me to be. Not who I know me to be. Not who people who love me know me to be, or people who know me know who me to be. I want to go back to God's idea of me because God's idea of me is complete. God's idea of me is whole. And everybody else, including me, that idea is incomplete. I don't know myself fully. But I do know that I'm a beloved child of God, just as I know that you are a beloved child of God. So when things get a little off kilter, a little off track, or a lot, but it's always good to start with the minor adjustments, go back to God's idea of who we are. And let that fill our consciousness, and let that fill our subconsciousness, and let that fill our unconsciousness. And carry us through. And then we will find ourselves able to make decisions with the head and the heart, and we will make better decisions. All right. So now we're going to talk about the garments of limitation are cast off when we begin to transform our individual minds with the belief that we are divinely created and divinely sustained. Okay. So we're casting off the garments of limitation and believing that we are divinely created and divinely sustained. And that is not ego. All right. Ego has a job, and ego's job is to keep you safe. But ego doesn't care about anything but you. All right? So when we know the reality of being divinely created and divinely sustained, that's not about ego. That's about recognizing who we are, whose child we are, and recognizing that absolutely everybody else in the world is the same, divinely created and divinely sustained. We all know that we are beloved children of God. Ego doesn't always recognize that. So don't think that that's an ego statement. When you say to yourself that you are divinely created and you are divinely sustained, you are recognizing who you are. It has nothing to do with ego. It's about knowing that God loves you. Our God is with us, and our God indwells us as a perfect potential awaiting our recognition and releasement. That's what I'm talking about. When we need an answer, we go within. And if we can't find that answer within, then we can go to somebody and we can say, hey, I'm a little short on answers here. Help me find the answers. And they will go within and they will hold the space that we know our own answers. They're not going to give us the answers. It's not the way it works. Not with God anyway. I know that we are born of the Spirit, that we live this day in a perfect presence, and that we are filled this day with an unlimited power for good. That's God. We are filled with an unlimited power of good. So go and do all the good that you can. All the good that you can. And that starts right here in the home with you. Do good for you. And then you will have good to share. I have faith that I am a spiritual being, unlimited and free. That is a power statement. Say that to yourself 5 times fast. Or say it to yourself 3 times slow. I am not merely a material body with a human mind working in a material world. You are so much more than that. This is an untrue picture of what I really am. I now lift my thoughts to the mind of God and know with God that I am God's beloved creation in whom God's pleasure abides. I am a beloved child of God in whom God is well pleased. You are a beloved child of God in whom God is well pleased. Simply because you exist, not for anything that you do or will do or have done. Simply because you exist. God loves you because you exist. I am divinely quickened with new creative. No, let me try this again. I am divinely quickened into new creative activities. All the ideas of God's mind are now awakened within me, and I walk in paths of righteousness and ways of peace. Today, I am the perfect creation of a perfect God, living in a perfect universe of order, love, and endless possibilities. All is good and all is well. All right, so the mission today, should we choose to accept it, is to have faith that we are spiritual beings, unlimited and free. And how does that make you feel? To know you are not a human body with a human mind, or rather you are not just a human body. You are a spiritual being who is unlimited and free. So cast off those garments of limitation and be the beloved child of God that I know you to be. All right. I also am going to encourage you to do something loving for yourself, do something kind for yourself, do something compassionate for yourself, whatever that looks like today. Today, I opened my window, just one of them, and listened to the rain. And that is an amazing sound to me. I love to listen to the rain. I also enjoy a little bit of thunder, just the one that I know where the storm's not too close. And that the people who are in the storm where the thunder is coming from are safe. I do know that. So it's as simple as that, to do something loving, kind, and compassion. Do something that you enjoy. Something that makes you feel good. Something that makes you feel good and makes for a better day. And you can do it at the beginning of the day or at the end of the day or in the middle of the day. I mean, take yourself to lunch. Go for a walk at lunch. Enjoy a good dinner. Go see friends in a play, because that's my plan tonight. And really, do something loving and kind and compassionate for yourself, because you deserve it. You're a beloved child of God. You deserve your own loving, kind, and compassion. And it also makes for a permanent habit to be loving, to be kind, to be compassionate with yourself. It is a permanent habit. It is a default setting. And when you do that for yourself, it means that you have more to share with other people. It creates a bank so that when you meet those people that need that extra kindness, extra love, extra compassion, you have enough to share. Gotta fill your own teacup. Gotta fill your own teacup. All right. I would encourage you to engage your mind and your body, but, well, there's a lot of rain, so be safe however you choose to do that. There is no sun. I can't encourage you to get that face full of sun. But some bright light. First thing in the morning, best way to do it. And then drink plenty of water. Drink plenty of water. Please drink plenty of water. And open the windows of your soul. Allow that breath of heaven to remind you do live in heaven. Right here, right now. It is all around you. All it requires of you is to look around and see the good. The more you look, the more you see, the more that's created. I mean, that's just the way it works. That is just the way it works. All right, beloveds, I am going to move into the process of the rest of my day. It is Friday. There's an amazing book study going on with Emma Curtis Hopkins' High Mysticism, which is the book that Jesse's been working from last month and continuing into this month. It's at 6:30 tonight, so if you are interested in that link, that is email info@creativelife.org to get that. She's doing that on Zoom, so you can join anywhere in the country or world, honestly. Gotta love Zoom or the internet. And you can always check us out on all of the TikToks. We've got a TikTok. God help us, we have a TikTok. We have a TikTok. The social medias. So the Instagram and the TikTok are Creative Life, the Creative Life Spark, and there's an underscores between the three words. And the Facebook and the YouTube are Creative Life Spiritual Center. I am the Running Rev Ryan on 3 of the platforms. I do not have a TikTok yet. Give me time. So check out all that content, and I will see you tomorrow morning around 9 a.m. I mean, it's Saturday, so I'll be here. And Reverend David should be on around 5 today. Although, you never know with him. He'll get it done, though, with the daily guide. So do what you need to do to make it a fantastic day, an amazing day, a great day, a wonderful day, a good day. And if that is too much pressure, simply have a day. Whatever else, know that you are loved. Know that you are loved. And I will see you next time. Right? Right, Rita? Next time. Okay? Got to enjoy the cameos, right? All right.